And can you give an example of a company where you wrote something about them, but it did not go as per your thesis? Because all the companies that we discussed like these went as per your thesis and it went down. But has there been an example where you wrote, but still the stock went up, and what happened?
There's many examples. I've written on about 100 companies now. So of course you're going to get some that blow up in your face. The most painful has been Palantir. So I only wrote on them once. This isn't a long-term thesis. I just write these articles and sometimes move on. And that stock is up over 500% since I've written on them. So talk about something embarrassing. And, the big thing with Palantir is they're a little bit of a black box, and depending on who you ask and what they exactly do, you're going to get slightly different answers. They're part consultancy, part AI platform. And, I talked to several people in the industry, and they based on that, I kind of reached the conclusion that Palantir was overhyped, that their AI capabilities weren't that good, that it's a black box with not that much substance there. They were doing a bunch of weird shenanigans to inflate revenue by doing deals with SPAC mergers that made me really suspicious. I heard from one or two customers they weren't that good. So even though I didn't understand the core technology that much, I just said, this is a black box, and I don't think there's a ton of value there. And I think elements of it could have been still true to this day. The inappropriate deals with SPAC mergers to inflate revenue, that wasn't right. I think it is true that, they have more of a kind of consultancy model than maybe the market gives them credit for, but they definitely hit a turning point, and the stock is up 500% plus, and they think some bigger deals. So that's been a particularly painful one. I really hate having these situations where I write on it and it explodes. And thankfully, there haven't been too many like that. And I think my biggest takeaway is I do best with ideas that completely originate with me and my own idea generation process. And when the genesis is with somebody else and I'm relying on someone else, then I can screw up. And that was literally a friend saying, you really should look into them. And, that was when I kind of blew up in my face.
So what exactly does Palantir do? Like you said, it's a part AI, part consultancy company. What's their business model exactly?
Well, you need to ask them that. But what they do is they work with these really large corporations and kind of are like an outsourced data science team. So as I aim work with governments, so they'll go in and they'll implement technology solutions to, modernize their businesses. So a bank might use, but they'll get very deep into the customer relationship. So they'll sign a consulting agreement with the JP Morgan Chase. They'll deploy several engineers to go meet with the team at JP Morgan Chase and see what they need in terms of data science capabilities and managing their data. They're going to implement custom technology solutions to help them better use their data. And the big thing is, do you value it like a consulting company, which typically gets relatively low multiples, or do you value it like an AI and data platform, which gets much higher multiples? And my view after talking to some people in the industry is it's more of a consulting company, and this is too much hype, and there's not much there. And I think they've shown that my view is kind of wrong. And I think, what I missed is a lot of customers actually love this forward deployed engineer getting, a more granular understanding of the company's issues. And there is something more of a platform company there than just like consulting based businesses.
Got it.
If you learned something new from this video, do share it with your friends and subscribe to this channel so that we can bring you the best content possible. Also, if you want to watch this entire episode, click on the link in the description box and you can go to Kushal Lodha YouTube channel and watch the entire podcast episode. Thank you so much for watching this and have an amazing day.